The lead. That's the first story.
It was a good line. All right, the man who chased every piece is now a messenger of peace. Leonardo DiCaprio has a new title, courtesy of the United Nations. The actor who got his break on growing pains will focus on another type of growing pain. He said in a statement, quote, "It's an honor to accept the role of UN Messenger of Peace on climate change. I feel a moral obligation to speak out at this key moment in human history. It's a moment for action. How we respond to the climate crisis will likely determine the fate of humanity and our planet." So true. He said this while banging 3 Brazilian models. Might have been 4. I think 2 were female. Leo's about to speak next week at the UN Climate Summit. Not attending, though, the leaders of China, Germany, Canada, and a place called Australia. Germany's Angela Merkel snubbing it, too. Meaning, what?
What happened?
No. Meaning there's zero chance for a global climate change agreement, Bernie. So, is DiCaprio the right choice? Well, here are Red Eye's suggestion for the UN's Messenger of Peace. He really is a beautiful man. Kennedy, I go to you first.
Oh, thank you, Greg.
Does Leo have what it takes to be the UN's messenger of peace? And what does it take exactly?
I honestly don't know. And it's interesting because here's a guy who talks about how everyone should have a Prius. He's really into social engineering. He obviously doesn't read a lot of data on climate change. You know, we all know that if we wanted to end climate change, we would encourage capitalism the world over. But the places that pollute the most are never going to be part of any of these peace accords. So I think you should embed him in India and China.
Well, he's embedding a lot of places, but
he really is. He's embedding, and apparently he's looking for peace and change in the bikinis of Victoria's Secret.
Leave him alone now. The man can't get laid now? Is it against the law to get laid? You a handsome man getting laid?
No, I don't think that's a problem. But he has enough tools to get laid to act like a messenger of peace. He doesn't need that to do that, too.
He's trying to help out, Greg. Is more than what we doing.
No, but he's destructive. He's
very destructive. He's on yachts all the time, and there's a lot of fuel that goes into those yachts.
And private planes.
And private planes. That's not, good for the planet.
But you know what's bad for the planet?
But it sure is sexy.
Him coming out against coal. Because if more countries had coal, less people would die.
Well, our pollution rates have gone down drastically in this country as we have done more fracking. And the left doesn't want to admit that. If you want to get off oil independence, you have to go to alternative energy sources. They won't let us go nuclear. They won't let us do any offshore drilling. They won't open the XL pipeline, and they won't encourage fracking. So frack you,
Plus,
Leo.
we need to help these countries that need to catch up as far as like their industry. Like everybody using coal and China and India. If you go to India, as soon as you inhale, you coughing out black stuff.
So that is so racist.
No, I can say it.
No, but I will disagree with you on this. That the countries that don't have fuel are burning things like feces and they're dying. There's thousands.
They're burning bad stuff. So we need to help those countries develop new technologies. Otherwise, they like this. We got to develop as a country just like you did. We did the same thing they doing now.
I don't listen to Leo. I'll listen to you, Sherrod.
So wait.
All right, Leah, you go first.
I'll listen to Leo because he's my soulmate, and I want everyone to stop slandering him. I have seen him in person, and we had a moment together.
What did he say? Wait, what do you like? Where was he? Was he in a restaurant across the street?
He was in a restaurant, the same restaurant, about 10 feet from me. And we had a moment. And
what did he do to you?
I cannot be an unbiased reporter on this. I love him. He's a wonderful messenger of peace, as I saw personally. But listen, I think it's actually great that he believes in something bigger than himself.
Boo!
I do. And you know what? Climate change. I don't know if he does. You know what? He does. I think so. And I had a moment with him. So, I mean, climate change, yes, it's happening. Otherwise, we'd still be in the ice age, right?
That's true.
Clearly, climate change is happening. But, you know, I think, you know, he's trying to save the elephants. He's trying to save the rainforest. He's trying to do some things.
Somebody's got to do it.
Throw up.
And I think it's great for him to be setting an example because people look up to him.
Yeah, but the problem is not all issues are the same. You could be defending an issue that, I mean, he's wrong on climate change.
Yes.
The science now has proven that the hysteria that he believes in is wrong. Bernie, I have to go to you because your head's going to explode.
Can we call it, go back to calling it global warming? I mean, the terminology, even they have that down with the propaganda. They got us all saying climate change. This is like in the old days, filthy rich people with nothing to do. They played bridge. Today, this is their cause celeb here is climate change, global warming. I mean, listen, I think there was a study that just came out. The Antarctic ice was actually increasing.
It's bigger than they first started doing measurements in 1979, I believe.
Right.
And now there's a global pause that's been going on 16 years. May go on for another 10 or 20.
We could do the Antarctic ice bucket challenge. There's so much damn ice down here. But look, listen, the brave hearts that these people are, George Clooney, Charlize Theron, Leo DiCaprio. I mean, global warming. How about the Ebola crisis? And if they were tackling that, and the UN also, the United States is sending 3,000 troops. How many troops are the UN sending to fight this Ebola thing? But this is all a bunch of feel-good nonsense.
We don't deny that our presence here as humans, the savages we are, is affecting the planet, though, right?
In a good way. In a good way.
No, not in a good way.
A volcano does more damage than we do.
That's not true.
As does an asteroid. I mean,
that big garbage ball that's floating around the Pacific, really? That's
all the dinosaurs.
Shut up.
All that debris.
We do damage,
That's
and
not
we need
science.
to fix some stuff.
That's not science.
Okay, by the way, we have fixed stuff because the air is cleaner now than it was 20 years ago. Rivers are cleaner now than it was 20 years ago. And by the way, places like India and China are waiting for the United States, particularly California, to continue passing legislation that handicaps and hamstrings our economy. So maybe at some point we'll come up with gadgets and technology that limits pollution so they can use it after their economies have grown.
Bottom line, my Soulmates Foundation is supporting the rainforest, and he's trying to save animals, and I love him.
We cannot change your mind, can we?
No.
No.
But with all that goodwill, and I understand, like, I applaud him for putting $10 million of his own money behind a cause that he really believes.
I mean, that's
like me throwing in $5.
How flimsy it may be, and I know his heart is in the right place, but that doesn't change the fact that he's never going to win an Oscar.
That is true.
Don't say that.
A lot of good
that
people
was
are.
cruel.
It's sad, but it's
pure
true.
cruelty.
I thought The Great Gatsby was a great movie. I saw it 3 times in the theater. That's not a lie.
I couldn't sit through it. I could not sit through it.
Well, it's
By the way,
because of the hemorrhoids.
yeah, it's true.
Listen,
It's the itch. It's the itch.
Nobody who did an episode of Growing Pains
The burning that takes
is
you
going
out.
to win an Oscar.
Yeah, that's true.
You
I never saw Titanic.
Boner or whoever else was the neighbor.
You didn't see
rest his
Titanic?
soul.
Never saw Titanic.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. Now, what's going on over here?
losing
Now it's
control.
self-destructing.
You're losing control.
All right, shall we move on?
Boner's dead.
Hey, by the way, Stevie Wonder
No, it's very
is part
sad.
of
He
this.
took his own life.
He
Stevie
killed
Wonder?
himself?
Wait a minute.
Oh, in the woods.
Wait a second. All right.
What's happened here?
What is happening?